He's staring at our Aberdeen heart, London eyes, Glasgow bones. She's whistling the cat.
What is up, guys and gals? This is Brandon Coin, and I am back. It is June 2nd, 2018, and I just woke up. Whew. Didn't get a whole lot of sleep, but I woke up to a problem. And the problem is I cannot keep my upstairs cool. Even with the AC, I even put a ducting system that's pulling heat off the top of the peak in the room. The room's just getting too hot, and the ambient temperature being so hot up there is making the cards run hot. And I don't feel like just getting more fans to like blow more heat around. So I'm taking a page out of the book of Tim, or TH, from the Discord chat, and he's actually running his rigs inside of hydroponics tents. So I ordered a tent, and I ordered a small one that's only going to hold about 2 rigs just for a proof of concept, but I should be able to tell really quickly by this one. I woke up and look what my octo miner's running at. It's cooking. Every card in the octo miner other than one, 82, 82, 82, 82, 79, 77, 72, 63. So every card in there is just straight cooking right now. The other systems are running 70C and below. See, they're like, 61, 71, 64, 66, 69, 68. They're all running a little bit cooler. But the octo miner, cooking. So yeah, let's go upstairs and build this hydroponics tent, set that thing in there, and see if pulling the heat off of it makes a big difference. We should be able to tell really quickly if it's not just like cooking. So let's go. Let's go. Come on. Come on. I need to go get something to drink. I need to wake up.
This strip club after. What's up?
Young Money.
Yeah. Me and my Will pull up the AOD back to back. Them AMG 63s. I tell all my rake it up, break it down.
Alright guys, so I have it all assembled, and I have the 2 1080s, one 1070 and one 1060 in this rig right here, and then I have the octo miner in this rig. It's going to be pulling fresh air from right here, and also from that other side over there. It's got 2 ports. So, and it's pulling the air up and out of this top port. I'm going to put this ducting straight into there to be pulling the heat off of here. And yeah, so cross your fingers and let's hope this thing works. And I'm going to zip it all up after I'm done. And it's got a fresh air port on this side that's going to be right here. So let's do it. Alright, so the setup is I have a 240 CFM inline duct fan right here. It's a 6-inch. That's going out the window, and it's pulling right off the top. Then I have both ports open on both sides, and also the back, and I have a fan blowing in the back port. So hopefully, I think the idea is all the heat's going to come up and rise up and then get sucked out by the actual duct fan. So I just fired up all the systems. Let's go downstairs and look at the temperatures. Crypto kitties. Alright guys, it's been a couple days. That's because the original setup was not working. I closed the tent. I had my little inline fan, which is right here, one of these, and this is a 6-inch. It's rated at like 240 CFM. I had it all hooked up, and it just kept getting hotter and hotter and hotter. And I mean, like, they were climbing up into the high 70s, and then next thing you know, they were like 80C, and I'm like, oh my god, I gotta go open it up. So literally, it was cooking the graphics cards, and they just would have got hotter and hotter and hotter. That was with a 6-inch inline fan, 6-inch ducting, and I wasn't pushing any air in, I was only sucking out. So I contacted some friends, and over in the Discord chat, one of the admins, TH, he runs these, and he recommended I upgrade to a bigger fan. So, under his recommendation, and I'm glad I did follow his recommendation, I upgraded to an 8-inch. The name is iPower, but this one, if you can see, is 745 CFM. So a lot higher CFM. I did an 8-inch to a 6-inch reducer on this side, and this side I just duct taped on the 6-inch because I didn't want to buy another reducer until I knew this actually would work. And I have this on a speed controller down here, and for right now I just have it turned on high. Now let me open it back up just a little bit so you can see in there. Everything's in there, it's running, it's hot, very hot. I've had this running now for a couple hours, and it's dropped the ambient temp inside the room because it's exhausting all the heat from these rigs. There are still these rigs running, so there is some heat still being generated, but I can already tell a big difference. And if I go and feel down here on the ports, I can feel it like pulling air here. I have this one open right here, it's pulling air through there, so it's working. And if we go down, I'll show you the temperatures here, and I'll show you that temperature wise it's actually working too. The stuff that's inside that tent is running cooler than these open air frames right here. And this one even has fans behind it, and this one's got a fan in front of it. So that says something right there. So if I was to expand this and get a tent for right here, put 2 more rigs in that, and then just keep expanding, that would expel all the hot air out of this room. The only air that would be coming in is AC from here, and then AC from downstairs coming through the doorway. I'm just gonna keep the doorway open because I don't want to create negative pressure. I want it to be open so that way it can actively suck through each of the tents. So I think this would help solve my heat issues, and I can keep expanding, because right now with everything outside of the tents it gets way too hot. But let's go downstairs and look at the temperatures. Crypto Kitty, and I was making a mess trying to put everything together, so don't mind that. Let's go. Alright guys, so I'm back on the computer now, and these 2 bottom rigs are right here are the ones inside the tent, and the 2 on top are the ones outside the tent. So if you notice, like the 1080 rig, it's running 59, 66, 62, 65, so solid temperatures. And the Octo Miner is actually the one that's surprising me. Everything's running in like the 50s, and there's one card in 63. This Octo Miner struggled even in the middle of the night to stay below, 65s. I noticed all the other rigs are actually seeming to run a little cooler also, and I think that's due to the fact that the heat that's coming off of both these is not expelling back into the room, raising the ambient temperature. It's just going straight out. So when I add another tent and put these 2 rigs in that tent, then that means that heat will be going straight out. So the only thing that will be coming in that room is I'm going to leave the door open now, because I did a test. Just the AC unit does not bring in enough air, and I don't want to have create either a negative pressure in there, I think it was. So I'm going to leave the doorway open to downstairs, so that way it can pull air as it needs to, especially when I add more of the fans. But yes, I'm very happy with the results. They seem to be running a lot cooler, and it's just helping out the whole situation by keeping the room cooler, so the AC doesn't even have to work as hard, thus letting the other rigs run cooler. So I plan on tenting all of my rigs, and I think I'm going to stay with the same size tent, and I'm going to do an individual fan and an individual HVAC line for each tent, if that makes sense. But I'll keep out updated on that as it goes on. The exact fan that I ended up going with was the iPower 8-inch, 750 CFM. Okay guys, I just wanted to chime in on this. I went upstairs and plugged in my kilowatt meter because I was curious. Because if you go down, this fan advertises that at 750 CFM at 8 inches is the fan that I got. It should be pulling 137 watts. This, with the speed controller turned on high, pulls 200 watts. Now, I did a test, and I unplugged the speed controller and plugged it straight in, and it's right at 140 watts. So I plugged the speed controller back in and I turned it back down to medium, and it pulls about 150 watts. So what that tells me is this fan without the speed controller is locked on the medium CFM or medium flow setting. That's just some food for thought. So spend the extra money and get the speed controller for this, because you can really fine tune your system. Medium might not be enough, or medium might be too much, and you can turn it down to all the way down to low. Just a little food for thought there, guys. So link for the fan, the speed controller, and the tent will be down below. Inline duct fan, and I did, they're $79 right now. I did get one of these. It's an iPower exhaust fan speed controller. Right now I have it on high, but once the temperatures get more stabilized in there, especially when I add the other tent, so more of the heat's expelled. Actually, pretty much all the heat will be expelled off the cards. Then I think I can crank my my fans back down to medium for both tents instead of having to run it on high. I'll play around with that. That way I can save a little bit of power when necessary. And also the tent that I was using was the Topo Light, full range, multiple size, blah blah blah. I was using the 24 by 24 by 48, so it's 2 feet by 2 feet by 4 feet tall, and it works perfect for me for putting. It's basically like 2 shoe racks, but I was also looking at buying some wire racks that would fit in there, and then I could just pop them in. But basically what you have here is you have that 7-inch inlet on top, and I have a 6-inch duct going to that, and it fits pretty snug. And then it's got drawstrings where you can just drawstring it tight. And then if you'll see right there where it's got the 3-inch on the side, on the back, that's where I ran my cables through, and then you can drawstring those tight so there's no heat leaking out of there. And then on the, I think it's the back, there's the inlet that you can open up, that square piece down at the bottom. My octo miner is actually sitting right in front of one of those, so it's drawing the air through the octo miner to get into the rig or into the tent, and I think that's why that's keeping the octo miner so cool. And then it's also got a 7-inch port on the front, where I have read online where some people pipe air into that and actually blow air in with a fan. But a lot of people said it's just better to have a high power fan sucking and nothing blowing. That way it pulls in air as it needs and doesn't create any unnecessary turbulence. Because you can create unnecessary turbulence and just cycle the heat around inside the actual tent. So I'm not pressurizing any air. I'm only pulling air. And yeah, so there's what the little, the little flapper looks like, and it's just mesh. I have my octominer just sitting right in front of that. But I'm happy with it. I really am. And it looks so much cleaner. It just, once they're all in those, like, you'll just walk up in there and you'll be like, oh my god, what is this? Like, if, So, that's pretty much it, guys. If you have any questions, please comment down below. I will definitely be coming back to this as I expand upon it. And, yeah, so I'll be jumping over to the Discord, and I'll be down in the voice chat. So, if you want to, link down below, jump in the Discord, join us. They updated it, so now there's a little bit of a ranking system. The more you're in the Discord, the more it ranks you up from, like, different military ranks, starting down at the bottom, working your way up. So, I don't know, it's kind of cool. But, yeah, I'll see y'all later. Adios.